Hello YouTube, I have here a Alphard Audio Hannibal subwoofer. It is actually a really cheap one. It is a 150 euro retail selling price. It is quite nice looking. Actually on the picture that you can see on the web page in here in Finland, it is this. I think it was, yes, as you can see on there, it looks quite like a toy, but now I have it in my hands. It definitely is not a toy. It is a 12-inch subwoofer with a 2.5-inch voice coil. Now later on in this video I will be showing some excursion of this video, of course. Everybody loves some excursion, and then I will be testing some parameters. I have DATSP2 here, so we'll be checking those out. First of all, let's go into the details. Now in front of here we have plastic dust cap, which is quite large. It's actually from the side to side. It has a nice Hannibal logo here, which is a little bit raised. Then we have painted Alphard Audio, double stitching down in here, ribbons all over around the subwoofer, and this is actually cooked in ribbons. So you have underneath here, you can feel the ribbons has a nice hollow stuff in here. It is not. It is the same thickness and same material as the top surround here, which is a foamy surround, and it holds quite easily, quite nicely. As this subwoofer is really well driven in, I can really push in here, so as you can see it will not go into distorted form, so it stays quite nicely in place. Maybe if I try to push it from here to the other side, it stays quite nicely, as you can see. So they work well, work as intended. They are not like Digital Design's foamy, which is a little bit softer on the center and it crimps a little bit when it goes into max excursion. Now this has X-Max of 40 millimeters, and the X-Max is not the excursion. It is only the height of the voice cord that is over and under the top plate. So if the top plate is really small, it has big X-Max. If the top plate is really thick, it has smaller X-Max. Same goes with the voice coil. If the voice coil is really long, top plate is short, it has a lot of X-Max. If the voice coil is short, top plate is thick, it might have even minus X-Max. So it is just a value of the height. It's not the it does not mean that this subwoofer cannot have a good excursion, as you can see on the later on. Now underneath this boot here, actually this is really hard to take off, so I will be not taking it off. Trust me, it has, look at the finish video on this channel, they will be taking this off. It took quite of a long time. It has a double ferrite magnet here, 20 millimeters thick per magnet, 40 millimeters top, 7 millimeter top plate, and a 7 millimeter back plate. And behind here we have this nice little bump. Now let's go back into front scene here, so I can show you something special from the spiders down in here. So as you can see, probably soon, in here we can see a red spider, and it actually has this kind of glues all around it. As you can see, those two little dips around there. So the spider down in here is a red, and it has holes on it, so the glue has been all around and then went through the spider, which is quite nice feature, actually really nice design to glue a spider good. And when I scratch it in here, it is really hard to touch. So I think this is a black CA glue, or maybe epoxy. Probably black CA glue. So the glues in here, they are not overflowing, they are really handled easily here. When we take the rubbers off, it only you can barely see, and it has around an 8 to 10 millimeter landing up in here with the glues. So everything looks just as it should be. It should not be overflowing, it should not be too flexible or anything. Only thing that it has here Just a standard 5mm terminals, as you can see. It has a plastic connection here, and it is connected with one screw covered with some of CA glue. Now if you use this by pressing hard on one side, it will bend the plastic and probably break it over time. So remember to use your thumb up in here so you can use it easily, and it holds it nicely. It's a common mistake to just push it here and break the connection here. So let's go on to the excursion video, and then we check something about. Here is the excursion video I tested with pure sine wave at around 28 Hertz, I think it was, or less, a little bit less. It took around 40 to 50mm excursion with these. Now I only test these to the point when they start to make some audible noise. So when the excursion is going to limit or very near to maximum, it will start making some shuffling noises. It will not clank, or it will not make any hard noises. It will start only to, you can hear the mechanic stress on the spiders and the top surround, making a little bit extra noise. And also the wind in the back hole here goes really high. Now this excursion is really hard to put in a normal subwoofer enclosure, so I will be thinking about this subwoofer to be probably really good, probably maybe the best subwoofer in this price range. Really good subwoofer for the price, actually. It looked like a toy when I first see it on this image here. It looked like it's a rip-off of something, maybe Digital Designs or Deutzer or something, kicker subwoofer with these ribbons. They have a meaning. They are not just a cosmetics. Well, mostly probably cosmetics, but they actually do the job really well. But the subwoofer only has 2.5-inch voice coil with a heat when they can the voice coil can stand a heat up to 350 watts. I'm saying nowadays that it is not RMS or peak, it is heat. Because the heat is the problem in your voice coil. If you have too much heat, it will break down. It can handle only 350 watt heat on your voice coil. Now it's round copper voice coil, really nice voice coil, allowing this big excursion in this small form factor frame. Just using one down spider here, big X Max. Everything is just looking good. It's not like one thing I have here that I really don't like, not the boot actually. These are pretty okay because it has a nice big boot magnet underneath here. It's not just for show, but it is really nice feature because these price range subwoofers does not have even rubbers on here, so they look just ugly when they are upside down. This has a little bit boot here and little decals. It's okay, but on the front of here, as you can sorry about that, as you can see, it has nice matte finish. It has a nice foam surround, and what is that over there? It's grease, so it's from my fingers. So this matte finish here is cool looking, but when you have let's say me around and I touch it and it has some grease stains on it, so it is not the best looking right now, and over time probably will go a bit more worse if you don't take care of your subwoofer. But I've been testing this all around for a few days now and actually be waiting to make this video. It looks really nice. It performed really well for the price, and last but not least, we will be switching here into DATS V2 and changing to this, and then you can see the parameters. They are actually on there already, but just to make everything sure, I will be putting this into 1 ohm. It has a double 2 ohm voice coil, just connecting from positive to positive and from negative to negative to put it in 1 ohm, so we can check a little bit how it performs. It has a FS of around 28 Hertz now, so it has been driven in pretty well by me. I usually, when I drive subwoofers in, I don't really I make them really stressful situations, so they perform or break. So with this I took a little bit easier, but let's just be silent for a second and test this. We'll be turning this a little bit off so we can have the air also and pressure coming out from the back hole. So that's about it, and we have 0.98 ohms. That little bump underneath here, actually, yes, this little bump here probably is acoustics in this room. We have 28 Hertz, FS, QTS 0.56, QES 0.6, QMS 0.68, which actually are really close for the parameters that we have in here. 0.6, 0.6 somewhere, 0.6 and 0.608 or 785, 0.6, 0.56, 0.68. So it is really close for the parameters that came from the factory. Actually, now when I tested it, I remember that in Finnish video I said that the parameters are a little bit off. Of course, when I'm testing only one voice coil, you should always put both voice coils in. No, that's a mistake for me, and I will be probably making a new video in Finnish or making in the comment section. But you can write also in this comment section, like if you like, dislike if you dislike, and remember to click that subscribe button and the bell icon to see more of these subwoofer videos in Finnish and in English. Now I will be making more of these English videos every now and then, and I will be probably trying to make around 15 English videos on December this year. This probably will be out in well, the first day of December or something like that, and I will be giving this subwoofer out for free for Finnish people. I'm sorry for you foreign people, I cannot afford to send this abroad, so if you are from Finland and watching this in English, go check out the video in the Finnish video, and go check the link in the Finnish video and try to win the subwoofer for yourself. Now, this subwoofer, I would recommend this to be the first thing you buy. If you are a hobbyist, I think there's a better choices, like a little bit beefier one, or a little bit well, sound quality wise, this probably isn't the best. This is a more like SPL daily bumper subwoofer, and it at price range of 150 euros it is a cheap subwoofer for the quality, but if you are a really good hobbyist, you probably should get a bigger subwoofer. Now, a first time user of first subwoofer, is this for you? I would say yes. For a maximum of 400 to 500 watts for one subwoofer. It probably can help more, but it only has 2.5-inch voice coil, remember that. A 2.5-inch voice coil can only handle so much, and the excursion is limited of around 40 to 50 millimeters. So in around 60-liter enclosure with a 4-inch port, or maybe 80-liter with a 6-inch, probably the suspension here is too soft for the bigger enclosure, so the 60 liters with the 4-inch or the 80 liters with the 6-inch port tuned around 30 Hertz will get the job done for this. Two of these with a 80 to 120 liter sub enclosure will be more than enough with a 1000 watt amplifier. I really like this subwoofer because first of all I looked at it was a toy and I was like, oh my god, am I going to unbox this? What I'm going to say, because I want to be really honest, but this matte finish and this actually foamy surround, not a rubber one, a foamy surround, makes this look better in person, much better. And the quality wise and the excursion wise, it is good enough to be probably the best daily budget subwoofer for around 150 euros. In SPL-ish, more like a daily bumping subwoofer. Like if you like, dislike if you dislike, and leave a comment. Subscribe for more, and I see you on the next video. Bye bye.